Okay, we are back, and breaking news coming out today. I knew this was coming down the line because your boy's got connections like that. But let's just say for the second time annually in Tampa, Florida, live on April 15th, creators are about to clash. That is right, guys. We're taking things back to where they began for me behind the commentary table, and one of the best events I've ever been a part of. Part 2, Creator Clash 2 is back, and the card is stacked all the way across the board. And there's a ton of familiar faces back on this card from the first Creator Clash. Names like Dad, I Did a Thing, Hundar, AB, Harley, all back from card number 1. But we have some new faces like John Hennigan, aka Johnny Wrestling, aka John Morrison, aka Johnny Impact, aka one of my favorite pro wrestlers of all time. Coming onto this card, we have Myth making his debut in a specifically boxing event after coming off his win in chess boxing. We have 3 female creators on this card as well, but today's video is about the main event because Creator Clash is always top to bottom one of the best filled cards. We can go back to last year, 10,000 seat arena. Dr. Mike and iDubbbz fought, but this time we're up in the stakes because iDubbbz is back, the man with the plan behind the entire clash. Oh, but this time he's not having to come up 20 pounds in weight. He's fighting Alex Wassabi, the man that has drawn ire and hatred from the entire community and people think almost destroyed Misfits #1 again, not by his own volition, but because he was injured preparing for a fight. He has a chance to right all those wrongs in this main event, and we have to talk about it. Creator Clash 2 is back. But this fight, the main event, the big reason we're tuning in to watch. It's interesting for more reasons than you think. What does iDubbbz look like at his natural weight, and is Alex Wassabi a lot better than we think? I think I got the answer, so the breakdown. Let's go. All right, so like I said, this card is stacked. We're talking 12 fights top to bottom. Now, I'm not gonna go over every fight here. You can catch that on the breakdown with me and Sensei. That's coming up this week. But I really wanna dive into this main event because the 2 competitors in it have so much to show us and to prove since their last fights, right? Both guys now, almost a year and some change apart from the last time we saw them in a ring. iDubbbz, after a beating he took from Dr. Mike, but somehow, some way, had the chin, mind, fortitude, and quite frankly, the badass tattoos to keep him on his feet during the entirety of that fight and had him firing back. That dude is all will and determination. My question is, has the skill level risen? And for Alex Wassabi, we saw him handle Deji in his own backyard after really no one gave him a shot in that fight. He comes into London, flat out smokes Deji, beats him in what wasn't even really a close fight, and these 2 eyes have seen his improvement up close in person in Brick House Boxing in Los Angeles. He's gotten a lot better than you think. And as soon as this card hit the press, freshly laminated, all of the internet got to see it. Names like KSI, who of course doesn't have any personal beef with Alex at all and has no way of getting emotionally involved in his pick here, did say iDubbbz is gonna smoke Alex. A lot of people leaning toward iDubbbz winning this fight, but I have to say this, and I know I'm the only one that usually does, do not count out Alex Wassabi. Because let's break down the matchup between iDubbbz and Alex. There's benefits on both sides of this. One, both guys are not having to fight up in weight. They don't have to gain weight to meet their opponent. For iDubbbz, it was ridiculous. He gained 20 plus pounds to meet Dr. Mike at 180 to 185. That was way too much weight for his natural body frame. 168 pounds, which is the contracted weight for this fight, is gonna have my man iDubbbz shredded more than my tax documents when Uncle Sam comes snooping around to audit. Listen, I pay my taxes, okay? There's just a special place that is the hole in my mattress that I keep the money Uncle Sam doesn't know about. That's a joke. I pay my taxes. Anyway, on the other side of it, Alex is kind of in the same boat. He doesn't have to come up to 180 or 175 or even 170, which was already too big for him as well. So you're gonna see a better version of both guys, both physically, mentally, stamina-wise, and we're really going to get to see whose skills are on better display. If I had to pick right now who has shown better skill, it would be hard to see because both guys have only had 1 fight, and the guys they fought were completely different styles. Dr. Mike was big, brooding, fast, powerful, was able to kind of walk iDubbbz down, hit him with big shots, and had a range and reach advantage to be able to stay on the outside land big ones, and really iDubbbz throwing back, there was nothing he could hit Dr. Mike with that would hurt him to the point where iDubbbz could get back on offense. Alex fought a timid and almost exclusively defensive Deji, which didn't really offer him anything, which was kind of the iDubbbz position for the Dr. Mike fight. Deji essentially fought a guy in Alex Wassabi that was far more offensive and didn't give Deji chances to really throw anything back, and when he did, Deji never took advantage. So there is some similarities there, but almost from opposite ends of the spectrum. iDubbbz is gonna get to show more offense in this fight, just purely based on the fact that he doesn't have a hammer standing in front of him. But Alex is going to surprise people with how hard he can hit and how much better he's gotten skill-wise as he's progressed and been in the gym. Now, I don't know rounds and time limits on this fight because we thought we did in the first Creator Clash and there was a mix-up there, but I assume we're gonna go for 4, maybe 6 rounds, 3 minutes per round, because I do think, I don't know if this is confirmed, but I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere maybe Anissa, who again is iDubbbz's wife and does a great job with all the behind the scenes stuff on this. She is one of the big players as far as the matchmaking, getting people coaches, getting this thing set up. So big respect to Anissa, that's my girl. She is the one I think that said that the main event is the only sanctioned pro bout through the Boxing Athletic Commission in Florida, which would mean that we're potentially talking about 10-ounce gloves, 4 to 6 rounds, 3 minutes per round, which makes this fight even more interesting because last time I think we had 14-ounce gloves, and yes, guys, we're getting tagged, but in 10 ounces, things change like that. One shot on the chin is hitting the emergency shutoff button, and someone's body is having an all-night slumber blackout party. They're not waking up anytime soon. And also something else we need to talk about is the fight styles of these two. iDubbbz is a scrapper. He's taught by an MMA striking coach that works out of the gym that teaches and coaches greats like Demetrius Johnson, but Alex Wassabi is taught as a pure boxer, training in Brian Valoria's gym at Brickhouse Boxing in Los Angeles. You have a duality of style. One, Alex Wassabi, a clean technical boxer, and from what I've seen with these two in some of his sparring sessions, he'll get down and scrap with you whenever you want to do it. But on the other side, you have Ian, iDubbbz, who is quite frankly a dog in there, right? He'll take shots to give shots. We saw that in the Dr. Mike fight. He's not afraid to get hit, and maybe he needs to be a little more afraid of it because he takes some damage, but he will fire off combinations of his own. On fight night, the person that's going to prevail is whoever can adjust that skill set to match whatever's happening in front of them. iDubbbz can't just be a brawler the entire night. He might get picked apart with Alex's jab and his technical boxing cutting angles, and Alex can't just be a pretty boy boxer, no pun intended, but kinda there is. He can't be a Mayweather-esque shoulder roller the entire night just working his jab if iDubbbz is gonna be a dog in there. Both guys are gonna have to adjust, and that is where the fight will be won and lost. But there's one more thing I want to talk about. What happens to the winner and loser of this fight? Well, there's big repercussions. For a guy like iDubbbz, this is his event, right? Creator Clash is his baby, and now he did lose on the first Creator Clash, but the success of that didn't necessarily depend on him winning. This one kind of does. He does need to beat Alex, not only to be able to continue to headline events like this, but also to show people that Creator Clash is a place where we can grow brand new stars in this influencer boxing scene. And who knows, iDubbbz winning this fight can attract other superstars to his card. Now, they're gonna have to be okay with fighting for charity, which is something that is not common in the influencer boxing space. But there are guys out there that aren't getting the opportunities that they want to be on big cards, to get noticed and go on to be on other cards and pro cards. For example, a guy like Dr. Mike who beat iDubbbz and then was on a Jake Paul card just as recently as a couple of months back. The opportunities are boundless here, but it all starts with an iDubbbz win to keep this gravy train rolling. And by gravy, I mean money raised for charity. In this case, it's not a selfish venture at all. Like, iDubbbz is doing a really cool thing here. But on the other side of it, Alex Wassabi does need to kind of re-ingratiate himself with the influencer boxing scene. Not because I think he should or because he even thinks he should, but people still look at Alex as the pullout merchant, the guy that purposely sabotaged KSI's event, his first Misfits event, which isn't true, but a lot of people are still running with that narrative. And for Alex, there may be some benefit in him coming back, winning this fight in style, and then maybe getting on the mic and saying, listen, I want it with anyone in the scene. Give me Deji in the rematch since he thinks he can beat me now. Give me KSI since we never got to run it the first time. Give me whoever the name is that Alex could match up with. And let's not forget, at 170-ish pounds, there's a lot of names still out there looking for fights. And Alex can fill that void. Like I said, you have guys like Deji, you have FaZe Temper who called out Alex. There's not sure how this would ever work out, but you do have and a Nissan Gibbs sitting there, maybe a Jay Swingler. Misfits Boxing's always looking to replenish that 170 division. And even if you want to talk about going lower in weight, you have the Hitman himself, Slim, now looking for new opponents at 160 or around that weight. Jarvis is out there, Taylor Holder's out there, Bryce Hall's out there. There's a ton of guys that can line up perfectly for Alex Wassabi, but it all has to start with a win at Creator Clash. So I'll leave the question to you guys. Creator Clash 2, are you excited for this card like I am? 12 fights, like I said, stacked top to bottom. Some of your favorite influencers, not only in the ring, but on the commentary. Tony Jeffries, Moist Critical, my boy Charlie. S-Fans doing interviews as well as Markiplier backstage. There's a ton of big names I could go on and on, but I'll simply leave it here. The main event, Alex Wassabi and IDub. A sanctioned pro bout, potentially in probably 10-ounce gloves, and the reputation of Creator Clash on the line for IDub. For Alex and all of the public opinion surrounding him, a chance at redemption and a chance once again to remind people he's not just a pretty face, and when he walks in that ring, everyone's on upset alert. But that's where we leave it. Who you guys think wins this main event? We're going to be covering more of the fights, like I said, over on the Breakdown channel, so check that out. My boy Sensei, myself, we're going to be talking about all of that. But as we head out, how important is Creator Clash to the influencer boxing scene? And how important is it for this company and for everything involved with Creator Clash that iDubbbz beats Alex Wassabi? Can Alex come in and ruin the party? Or can iDubbbz become once again the content cop, but this time inside of the ring, using these hands to slap the cuffs on Alex and debilitate any threat Alex brings? I don't have those answers. But April 15th from Tampa, Florida, once again, we take it back to where it all started. Creator Clash, round 2. I guess we'll find out.